We're at Lumen Christi High School with former Titan standout, former Michigan State captain, and now we're getting ready for the draft with Khari Willis. How are you?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Absolutely.
I can't believe, it seems like just yesterday we were watching you suit up and play basketball. Did it go that quick for you?
It went very fast. I mean, just even my time here at Lumen, I still remember it like it was yesterday, suiting up with Devin and, Crowley coming out here and playing, and then, going to Michigan State, being starstruck by Connor Cook, Calhoun, those guys, and then now it's my time, you know what I'm saying? So I remember it going by super fast.
And when you got to stay, obviously, the high school level, you stepped on the field, stepped on the court, you were the best athlete. Getting to Michigan State and playing a new position, really, for you, what was that like as far as the talent level?
It was different. I think, the speed of the game was a lot different. There were a lot more things to just the schemes and X's and O's that I had to learn. But I felt that I had, the proper preparation of, training and how to work hard and how to learn here at Lumen Christi. And I feel like, that was able to propel me past, a lot of other guys that I came in with who maybe, more higher rated or something like that.
Sure, and you improved every year, and you've turned into a draft prospect. Talk about kind of that process, from getting to Michigan State, becoming a leader on the team, a captain of the team. Obviously, everyone saw your speech at Big Ten Media Day. Just talk a little bit about that process in a short 3.5 years.
Yeah, coming on the campus, obviously, being red-shirted and having to, kind of take a lesser road than I'm used to taking, but on a bigger stage. I felt like there were rough parts in that, but I felt like I accepted that well. Eventually, I was able to graduate that same year to a starting position. Then wasn't playing very well at the end of the year, battled with some injuries, and then came back with a sophomore year that we were doing terrible as a team, and I didn't have the best year, but I took some strides. And in my junior year, there's position open for grabs. We graduated, like 30 to 50 plus players in those previous 2 years. Those were really the Big Ten champions. Those were really the Cotton Bowl champions. And now we're a young bunch. So there's opportunity for me to step up, opportunity for me to start and take on a similar role that I had here. And I feel that I learned, what to do. I learned how to do it here, and I had my opportunity, and I feel like I took advantage of it. And that propelled me into, a pretty decent junior year, and I think an awesome senior year.
Yeah, definitely. And it started off, I think for a lot of people, people were so impacted by that media day speech. When Coach told you that you had been selected, were you nervous? Were you thinking, what am I going to say in front of all these people? But, by all accounts, you killed that speech and inspired a lot of people. What went into that? Just talk about that, and then kind of immediately after, how because the speech went viral, you're getting a ton of attention. Just talk a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so Coach had told me that he was going to nominate me for it, and he said, each team get to nominate a guy, but the media pick it. And at that time, our school was going through a lot of stuff.
Right.
Not our football program, but our school. And he said, with everything that's going on, it's probably a high probability that you're going to get picked. And I want you to do it. I want you to get picked. You know what I mean? He said it's an opportunity for you, to expand on your brand, to let everybody know who you are, and to speak for our school and speak for your teammates. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity. Still was kind of nervous. I think he put it in, a few weeks go by, and he calls me back up to his office and said, well, you got picked. And, he's just like, I don't want to tell you what to say. I want you to be genuine and to be you. You know what I mean? He's like, but just remember, don't run from any problems. Don't run from anything that's going on. Be honest and be you. And so I felt like I wanted to just get my story across. He told me I was representing, over 1,400, football student athletes in the Big Ten. So I wanted to take something that we all had in common, a dream of coming on that big stage, and trying to show how we can use it to be lights, maybe people that come from a little bit darker places. So I felt like I was able to do that. That's something I wanted to do, and I was just thankful for the opportunity.
And it was nice too. I know a lot of your opposing coaches had a lot of nice things to say about you after that.
Yeah, they definitely. From Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh, Coach Franklin at Penn State, all of the coaches I felt were well pleased with the way I represented the conference. Even a lot of the players and great leaders like Thorson from Northwestern when we played, still remember this. So I think that that was a key moment for leadership for me, and I think it was able to help a lot of other people.
Nice. Now, at the end of the senior year, you get asked to the Senior Bowl. So now it's like you graduate in December. Congrats on that, by the way. Senior Bowl. combine, and it's working with one goal in mind. That's get ready for the draft. Talk a little bit about the Senior Bowl. It's not like a summer all-star basketball game where everyone can just hop on the court and play. That had to be a little tricky for you.
Yeah, it was different, but I felt that I had went off to train in Florida for a little bit, kind of prepare my mind and my body, to be ready to go in there. And once you go in there, you're constantly evaluated, more so by scouts than coaches.
Sure.
But you do have two coaching staffs, full coaching staffs there. It was the 49ers and the Raiders, and you learning NFL schemes. Mm-hmm. You learning how to play with other guys who are the best, like kind of like you were the best in high school. You come to college, they were the best, and it's kind of that, but it's narrowed down a little bit more because it's a smaller pool of people. So being selected first, I thought was an honor, but then being able to go out and compete every day in practice, show what I'm able to do in the classroom, how I'm able to learn, and how I'm able to teach and impact others. Mm-hmm. I felt like I helped myself at the Senior Bowl there a lot after I graduated.
And then you get the combine invitation, which we were talking earlier, and it looks stressful watching it on TV because everything, it's all about the measurables. Does he run a 4.5 or below? You end up having a couple great drills. You ran a 4.52, mm-hmm. and then you had the most bench reps of any safety, so that had to be pretty satisfying.
For sure. Definitely. I felt like I ran well. I jumped well, I feel like, and I put on a good show with my hips and the ball drills, mm-hmm. especially being the heaviest safety there. I was expecting to be the strongest. Yeah. And I was expecting to run, one of the better times, and I felt like I put myself in a pretty good position there. I think that's credit to, my training and, training at Exos facilities down in Florida. They did a great job there, and I felt like it kind of, me trusting the process kind of just panned out and worked that way at the combine. But definitely a lot different process than it is televised.
Yeah, you didn't get to run against Rich Eisen, did you?
I didn't.
Now, you had a pro day. I think there were 8 Spartans. That went well. You had already gotten the hard part out of it. Yeah. So all 32 teams are there. Mm-hmm. Are you able to talk to some coaches and GMs? Sure. What is that like?
Yeah, so throughout this process, you get interviews and meetings. So they may come in the night before, take you out to dinner, sit you down to eat, or meet with you in the film room and go over your scheme, go over their scheme. Just kind of get to know one another, get mm-hmm. to talk a little football, talk a little life. And I did that with a lot of the coaches. We had a lot of position coaches at ours, which is a good thing. And I felt that they put us through drills, they challenged us. I felt like we were able to respond, for the most part. Recorded a few other tests that I didn't do at the combine, and then I felt like we just went from there. And after that, there was a lot of coaches, reaching out, and now it's time to just kind of go through what they call like private workouts or individual meetings. It's that stage, kind of all the way up into the draft.
Now we're about 30 days from the draft. What's your schedule like? Just constantly working out, getting ready, meeting with teams?
Yeah, I don't have to go to school, so
that's nice.
That's the best. That's the best thing. So now I can just come, go up at Michigan State, work out, come down here, work out with coach, work out with some of the kids here, some of my little brothers and their friends, or some of the kids going off to college. We could just come in here and just work out, and I don't have much responsibility right now. I'm pretty free.
That's nice.
Yeah,
it's gonna change quickly.
Yeah.
Now tell me what you're looking for. Is there a team that you would love to play for? Is there a fit? Is there a defensive coach that you've really connected with, or can you not really allow yourself to do that?
Yeah, I think you can connect with them, but I think you can't expect anything. You got to understand that this is a business. I feel like I understand that. I feel like I've connected with a lot of them. I feel like a lot of them appreciate what I bring to the table. But I feel like you can't get too caught up in that because you never know what their agenda is. You never know what they need for their team or how they view you. So I think my best bet is just obviously keep my nose clean, stay in shape for these personal workouts and for pro day, and then see where it goes from there. But I'm looking to play on any team that any opportunity that I can get. I'm looking to make the most out of it, work my way up similar to how I did at Michigan State.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to draft weekend, and can't wait to hear your name get called. So appreciate you coming back. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Khari Willis getting ready for the 2019 NFL Draft.